We've, Ronnie, been reading a couple of books, and one book that we have is here called Extreme Ownership, that we all of us are actually going through, and we love the book. But one of the things in the book that the writer talks about is, and I'll quote, it says, "Discipline brings freedom," and he says, "Discipline doesn't mean rigidity, but in fact is essential for freedom and results." While we talk about entrepreneurship on one end, how would you, what in your mind would be the relevance and the importance of discipline, even as an entrepreneur who's been so successful?
It's very, 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 very important, I think. And people, I don't think we should mix up discipline again with keeping times and are you an early person or are you not, or an army like discipline. I think discipline stems from basic courtesy also. I think there are many aspects of discipline that if you break up, to me basic courtesy is also discipline, because when you extend that to other people, then you become a disciplined person. You're living in a collaborative environment. So when you live in a collaborative environment, you need to feel that you are accountable to yourself, but you're also accountable in terms of time, response, interaction to a lot more people. I think we lack a little. There's a basic sense of lack of courtesy when you actually lack your own sense of discipline. Because when you do that, then you feel, hey, this can be unstructured. And I come from a creative industry, Harsh, where everyone feels actually you're creating something out of nothing, and therefore indiscipline is the core of it. And I think that's something that I've fought with over the last 25 years, where just because you're creating something out of nothing, a story out of nothing, a piece of music out of nothing, or any sense of content out of nothing, it actually requires 10x the discipline. And I think if you look at today, just the discipline that goes into creating some of the series that you see today. I mean, if you see the discipline of writing, and the reason we're having the platforms that you're having, whether it's Netflix, Amazon, and some of the others, you see a fair bit of that. There's a sense of a timetable and a regimen that goes into that. So I find I come from an area of creativity where it can be the most indisciplined if you want it to be, and it can be the most disciplined. And with that discipline comes courtesy. With that discipline comes actual productivity of a different nature. And I think for a lot of people, especially in the middle rung and bottom rung, who feel constantly stressed, who feel there's too much pressure in my job, I do sit down and talk to them and saying, how disciplined are you as an individual? Could half the stress be brought on by yourself only? Because I cannot believe that your peer or your boss and your targets every month can bring you that kind of level of stress. So reflect a little bit on your discipline.
That's quite interesting because we would all believe that if you're an entrepreneur and you have entrepreneurship, then discipline is not that great. But what you've said is quite amazing. That discipline actually is important for productivity and success, even in a creative industry like yours. And that's a great learning for us, and I think it's a great learning for all the people who are on the call today.